Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
And I'm Dr. Lindsay Riquier.
And welcome. Each week on So Fired, we take life's shitty things and turn them into pretty things.
And we're going to complain about all the nonsense that we encounter every day. And this week, we're talking about, is it possible to be too pretty for yeah, and Beyoncé and more.
Great.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I know.
What's your So Fired of the week, Lindsay?
Let's see. My So Fired of the week is, honestly, my whole week has just been like super fire.
Same. This is a first on So Fired where we have, everything is just flames.
Yeah. Fire flames all around.
It's actually been a killer week. It's only Wednesday.
I know. Let's see. If I had to think of something or anything. No, I don't know.
Let's just love life.
Let's love life.
Okay,
well, here's my issue. I hate it when people are standing around in the parking lot while I'm trying to back up into a spot and they're literally like a foot away from where I need to be. And they're just like watching me like, la la la, blah blah, talking and like not even making an effort to move. And I'm like, bitch, you know I'm trying to get into the parking spot. Like, why are you standing so close? It's like you want me to run over you. That really
Did that happen here in our neighborhood?
That happened at work this morning.
It happened to me at Wash Park the other day, and I was like, I'm trying to parallel park. Could you please? It's so arrogant.
I know. Like, why can you not move? It is arrogant.
And then when you ask ladies, I'm sorry, I don't want to hit you, which I don't intentionally need. I would prefer not to like deprecate.
Yeah.
But like, how else do you say it in a non-offensive way? And then they still act so put out.
I know. They're like, ugh, fine, I'll move. I'll move my body.
I feel like people are just more arrogant and entitled now than ever.
I mean, if I see someone backing up and I look like I'm in their way, I'm like, please don't run over me. I'm going to move.
Or let me just make it easy because you know it, like there's always another part of the brain that is being activated when you're reversing. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes a little bit.
There's a piece of hair in my mouth and I cannot get it out. I'm so sorry.
Just like I'm like stroking her tongue.
And I'm like a cat over here. Okay.
Do I have issues? No, not really. I don't like waking up hungry.
Oh. Do you eat before you go to bed?
Well, question. My nights are late.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do? Eat. Well, last night, oh my God, I was at Jerusalem because it's the only place that's open at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought some lentil soup and French fries. I was falling asleep at the table by myself. I was like, okay, it's time to go home.
Lentil soup is your late night go-to meal at Jerusalem's?
Well,
it's a Euro place.
I know, but like at 1 a.m., I don't want to like a hero.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be sick all night.
Yeah.
Sick as it is. I was like, I want an onion rings. Okay, anyway. So.
Yeah. Those are all our issues. Okay, so let's just get right into the topics. I'll do our sponsor for today. Still Pantry Way. Thanks, Pantry Way. Pantry Way is an online grocery store that lets you fill your pantry your way. Keto, gluten-free, fat-free, plant-based, ethnic, air, whatever you like.
Air. They said you packaged air.
Yeah. Whatever your food preferences, they've got you covered.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I know. I'm like, I'm just hungry for some air.
I don't like to eat. I don't like to use my teeth. Can you provide me with just things through straws?
Yeah.
Like the straw diet?
Oh, yeah. I just want a straw diet. If I don't have to chew it, then I want it.
I know, me too.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm super famous, I'm going to try and strive for that. I'm going to make that on my vision board. I just want a straw lifestyle.
That's your ridiculous request everywhere you go, like on your rider for your green rooms. Like,
is it called a rider?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Everything must be consumed by straw.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What kind of straws would you pick? Like a jumbo straw?
Never.
No,
I drink really fast.
Oh.
You know, because Caribou has really wide straws. There's this bubble tea that sometimes I get. And anyway, I want a narrow straw.
Okay.
It slows me down.
I like a jumbo straw.
I'm a strong sucker.
I bet you they might have some jumbo straws and narrow straws at Pantry Way. They have a little bit of everything. So there's brands like Annie's, Bob's Red Mill, and premium products like Escargot. You can slurp that up.
The slime.
It's everything you need to stock your pantry and make a yummy meal, all delivered right to your door. As part of being a So Fired friend, you can use code SoFiredPod for 10% off your entire order when you visit pantryway.com/SoFiredPod. That's code SoFiredPod for 10% off your entire order.
Word.
Okay, let's get to like the big news of the week. Is it possible to be too pretty for comedy? Okay, Chelsea had her debut performance at Comedy Works, downtown Denver, which you guys, this is a big deal. Like a Dave Chappelle level of club. What's the blonde girl's name? Eliza Sure. Yep, her. I think like Rob Schneider's there next week. So like very famous comedians. This is where you perform when you come to Denver. So Chelsea had her debut new talent night, 2-minute set this week, and she fucking crushed it. Woo!
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
Chelsea, Toronto celebrity. So if you've been keeping up, you know this has been 6 months in progress.
Started in October, but there was definitely some.
There was a lull. I think there's like a month or so missing.
At least. And do you remember? I was thinking about this the other day. Was there when before I left from Mexico, so like December, or when I got back, you're like, so do you think you're gonna resume comedy? Because what Lindsay was saying was, you stopped for a while and you got a bunch of excuses. Are you gonna get back there? And I was like, I actually made a conscious decision that I was like, yep, I'm gonna do it, because I wasn't. It was like 6 weeks where I wasn't going.
Yeah, I kind of thought you were done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
But you're not. So. She performed on Monday night, 2-minute set, and tell everyone how it went.
Oh my God, it was incredible. I was the fifth person up, right? So they set at 7:15, they taped the order, and I am the first newbie 5. It was amazing. People were so kind and gracious. Let me try and because there's so many details, but I'm trying to think of the high points. So leading up to it, I was floored and just overwhelmed by all the kind and well-wishing that I got from across the board, really random people. So that I was like, wow, I feel really like it hit in the sacral area. And I just felt a lot of love in my heart. And then there was a moment, and I think it was that same day. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to be fucking scared, and we're not going to be nervous. I was like, that bitch is dead. That's what I actually said.
I love that.
I literally said it to myself. I was like, you know what? We have too much riding on this for you to play. Like, that is an immature mindset. And you have too many people there. You can't embarrass yourself. And then I was also like, you're going to have to do it. Just fucking go all in. Like, just leave it on the dance floor and like get out of that. Like, it was wasting my wheel, like the energy it took me to like spin my wheels. So I was like, I just got to go all in, which is scary.
Right.
Because there is a lot. You're on stage by yourself. There's theatrical elements. Like I don't just stand there and hold the mic kind of thing. I mean, it's just how I am normally, but I was like, I got to go bigger. I got to do everything. And I was like, and I was talking to myself again. I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if you fucking crushed it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the pep talk I needed. I don't know what goes on in other people's minds, and I've never done anything on this competitive of a level. So that's what I did.
Yeah, that was a big switch, because I was like, yeah, you're going to crush it. Like, you got this. You're like, well, or not, whatever. Like, or
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were like, whatever. Like, maybe that was on Friday or Saturday. Maybe that was like Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like Sunday. I was like, you're going to crush it. Like, you got this. You're like, yeah, or not.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's going to happen? Okay. So I'm happy to see that switch, because it is a contest. And if you do give yourself the excuse of like, well, you know, whatever, then it feels better to put it all out there and to know that you tried your hardest, even though this is scariest because you're the most vulnerable, because you did put it all out on the table instead of like hiding just like the last 10% of the effort.
I just was like, you know what? I was like, this is the beginning of your professional career. You want day one to look good. Yeah. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, somebody's going to go back and look at this tape.
Yeah. 100%.
I was like, so be good now. Now is that time. And then I was thinking my whole life, I'm like, I want to be fucking famous. I just want to be fucking famous. And I'm like, well, here you go. What are you going to do with it? Right? And I'm like getting goosebumps thinking about it. And I know like you really feel shame when I like admit it out loud, but it's like, yeah, but that's what gets me. And I was like, no, I'm just going to, if I want to be famous, this is what it's going to take. Okay. So do the fucking thing. So I did. And it was incredible. You opened up by saying, can you be too pretty for comedy? Here's what I can say. I was relying on my looks a little bit in the way that it was very disarming. When I smile, everybody was smiling back at me.
Yeah.
So that's how I was using my looks to get noticed and to kind of like, hey, I'm approachable. We can talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not bitchy. I was full glam and there's no ladies like that back there.
No. Everyone rolls up in like whatever they slept in that night and then.
Or maybe they're their fancy going out sweats. But let me tell you, I am literally the only lipstick comedian back there. There was only like, how many ladies? 5?
I think so.
There was only 5 ladies. And I gotta tell you, so my roommate came. And the next day we kind of like, he gave me his notes. And he's like, you're the funniest lady up there.
100%.
I don't know. You didn't tell me that.
That's because I was saving all my thoughts.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to make my people proud. I was like, this isn't about me. Like, and I want to, my roommate doesn't know what I'm doing. He gave a great example. He's like, I'm the parent of the child. It's like, but I've never been to a practice. I've never seen him even like pick up the bat. And then I go and he's like grand slam, MVP of the game. He was like, that was mind blowing. I had no idea you were good.
I also, and like part of the bit is being a gold digger and like you're like saying you're divorced. I like how when we went backstage, you're like, did you like it? Was that okay? Like, Doug, was that okay?
I thought he'd be mad. Well, you know what I wanted to know? What? Am I going to walk home into like...
Oh, into anger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be mad.
No, he was laughing.
Good.
He found it funny.
So there was this comedian that he was like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah. So when I was watching you, I was like, I'm like, okay, I know she's going to crush it. It's going to be so good. But my face the whole time, I'm like smiling. I'm like, oh my God. She's like doing it. I'm like, I have such a proud moment in my heart. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like laughing, like for real laughing. I'm not just like amping you up. And my face is just like, like she's doing it.
So I don't know, you know this, but the night before I worked out late at your place.
Oh, okay.
So I'm home at 12:30 and I sat in my car in the basement and set it for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Over and over and over. And I recorded myself. I didn't even listen, but I just kept doing it. And I kept doing it because I was like, well, what am I going to practice? I'm not going to practice tomorrow because I'm going to walk the dog. I'm going to take the da-da-da. I was like, this is it. I was like, do the fucking work. So, and then I came up for an hour. So now it's like 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
And I'm doing the words and my gestures in the mirror because I was like, Lindsay's got to hear something that hasn't been heard before.
Right.
She's been with me every step of the process. So I was going to go on a tangent, but I'll just tell you later. Well, I was going to be like, remember when you surprised me and came to the Lion's Lair?
Yeah.
I was like, that was so special. Oh my gosh. This whole thing has been such a beautiful journey.
And you were so funny because you called me and hung up and called me and hung up. And you're like,
oh, this is on Monday when I perform.
Yeah, Monday when you perform. Like, what did you text me? You're like,
well, because I was like, so I kept calling Lindsay, but then I hung up because everyone's like, what's your day of process? And I was like, I don't know. I need to stop making this such a big fucking deal.
Yeah, you're like, I kept calling and hanging up because I couldn't decide if I want to hear your voice or not because all I want to do is speak to you and then make you proud. I mean, like, 5 out of 5 pro level. He's like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to fucking do it. I baked my makeup. I'm like, okay. Got it.
Good talk.
Yeah, good talk.
Yes, that's what that was going to be like. Perfect text.
Yeah. Totally. So,
and then afterwards, it just feels a lot better when you do well.
Also, I was like, she shined. I'm like, she just need a bigger stage. Like, fuck these little clubs. Like, you just need thank you for like the stage and like the practice.
Of course.
But like, you just need a bigger, fuck them. You need a bigger stage.
I need a real audience.
You need a real audience because your stage presence really came to life.
Thanks.
So I feel like at the smaller places, there's not the stage presence, but like you had the presence. And I was like, damn, like, where was that the whole time?
Well, no one wants it.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a jazz musician performer and like jazz hands and fully extend your limbs when there's 3 people there. You feel like a fucking idiot. You're like, na-na-na-na-na. And I'm like, you try, it's like doing magic for no one. You're like, I'm not doing this. It's so weird. Yeah, no, I feel like I can only do big audiences.
Totally. So, okay, so she crushed it, and then you get your notes at the end. And you sent me a voice note of the notes that they were giving you. And the note, I just can't get over this. I feel like the main feedback was like, you're too pretty. And like, we can't hear the comedy over your looks. Like, we're all very distracted by what you look like. And like, for the bit that you did, the outfit worked. But if you're going to do something else, you gotta look like shit. And I cannot wrap my head around intentionally showing up ugly to perform in front of a big crowd. Like, I just can't comprehend. However, Austin was like, oh, like, what feedback did she get? I'm like, basically, she's like too pretty. And he's like, yeah, I was going to say that. Like, because he listened to this podcast, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, 2 bears. They talk about female comics all the time and how when they're so hot, they're so distracted by how hot she is. And they're like, all we think about is that we want to fuck her. And like, we can't hear anything.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Just buy the goddamn tickets.
I know. And I'm like,
I'll sign your autograph later. I'll take a selfie, okay? Yes. That's not my fault.
this sounds like a man problem that you can't concentrate on like words coming out of your mouth.
I just want to fuck with her.
have sex with her.
I just want to fuck her.
Yeah.
I want to put my penis in her mouth.
That's all I can think about.
It's like that. How was that my fault?
I know, like, that sounds like their problem.
I could see that. Is
Yeah.
what he said?
Yeah. Because he only said that because he heard that on the show, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. Because he's like, on that show, they talk about that all the time, about how when female comics are so hot, they're distracted. Their man brains can't handle a hot girl being funny. They're like, she is hot. Cannot hear. Must fuck her. Ha ha.
Not even.
Not even.
Yeah, no, it felt like, and backstage, it felt like I am the only person with lipstick you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
They were just like, what is this? I was like, oh, this is going to be shooting fish in a barrel from a networking standpoint.
So what are you going to take with that feedback?
Absolutely nothing.
I like it.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to smile or do you want me to be ugly? Which is it? Because I'm really very confused. I'm sorry, my face is such an issue. I can't. I was like, so my response was, this is who I am. Do I need to be a different person?
Right.
Is literally what I said. I was like, I hear you. But they're like, no, the uniform is a black sweatshirt and like jeans. And I was like, yeah, I'm only wearing this at that moment because it's freezing and this is where I'm wearing when I go to bed. But
yeah, you're like, this is not me. Me is the one you saw on stage with the dress and the boots on.
Oh, let me tell you this. Same lady, as I'm leaving, I'm like walking up the stairs. She's like, wait. Come here. It was really nice meeting you. I just want to talk to you a little bit more.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like, well, you're definitely getting 3 minutes next time.
Oh, good.
She's like, welcome to the family.
Oh, yay.
Brant said the same thing. He's like, welcome to the Comedy Works family.
Oh.
And I said, I'm going to make this family proud.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled. So, she's like, all I'm saying is don't rely on your looks. Just keep working the craft so your jokes are funny.
And my mind can't compute. I was like, since when are having looks a bad thing? Since when is being pretty not good? I'm like, this is not computing in my head.
And can I please set the record straight? I know you guys won't believe me this, but like, I didn't really think I was pretty. But I keep hearing people say it to me.
Yeah.
Especially, okay, definitely, I've never heard the words pretty up until when you taught me how to do makeup. So in the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And now I'm just so tired of having looks become a thing. Like, it really shouldn't be appropriate for you to talk about the way I look.
And also, I think you're not relying on your looks, but you feel more comfortable and confident when, like, you know you look good on stage, not rolling up in like a frumpy ass sweatshirt and like baggy jeans. Right? Like, that's part of like the stage presence. Like, I feel good and I'm delivering my jokes and they're funny.
Well, I know what theater's like. I mean, I was a
Yeah.
fucking theater nerd.
Yeah.
I was in the National Thespian Honor Society. Like, so the first question out of the guy's mouth, the one that gives notes, he's like, "Do you have a theater performance?" I was like, "I sure do." Oh, the question I love this. He was like, so the very first question they ask you is, "How do you think you did?" I was like, 5 out of 5. The guy was like, 5 out of 5? You mean, wait, what did he say?
He was like, 5, you're like 5 out of 5. And you're like, yeah, it went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
I was like, that is how I anticipated it going. I practiced so I would get that response. And his face was like, "Oh, this girl's here to play."
No.
He was like, "Oh." Not like the audience is giving me a 5 out of 5, but when you asked me how did I think it went just as I visualized, and the breath work that I practiced, and when I was in yoga doing all of my pre-day stuff, I was like, or my day of stuff, I was like, there was all that mindset. So all the things we've ever learned about mindset, really, I did utilize it.
The personal development shit rolls back around. Oh, because you do. Oh.
But I knew it, and it like was inherently so. Like they knew that I was probably the most serious person in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm the oldest, but I was definitely the most serious. Like, yeah, and like they could feel me, and like I give that eye. I don't know. So many elements of this. It wasn't just like good job performance, but there was a lot of like business and networking that I love.
Yeah, and you're making them proud.
Making us proud. Yeah. I did say, Lindsay, I was like, I just want to make you proud.
She did. And I was like, all right, we're on our way to being famous. I.e. Chelsea's on her way to being famous, and I'll be right behind her. I'll be your manager.
It's Paige and Hannah.
Uh-huh. Totally.
You just find your page.
I know. So, yeah, we're just being honest.
Well, I mean, we didn't say anything. Yeah. I practiced hard. It showed. Mm-hmm. I have been working for however many months. I mean, you're not supposed to say it, but you really get a sucker punch every time you do one of those shitty open mics.
Right.
It just hurts. And in fact, Monday was flying high. So last night I was like, of course I'm going to continue. And I got the shittiest response. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, I'm humbled. But you know what? It gave me such confidence that I was like, okay, I'm not nervous anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not nervous. Uh-huh. I think it was paralyzing me anyway.
Yeah, the nervousness.
Mm-hmm. It was like, in 1 minute, I was a different person.
You just changed your mindset from, but like it to like, let's do this.
I was just like, that bitch is dead.
Yeah.
And I liked the thought of that. I don't mean really that bitch, but like that was the word that came to me when I was yogaing, and I was like, yeah. Because I got to be headstrong and like strong of heart if this is our path.
Yeah. You're crushing it. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. That's all that matters. Could you imagine if I did a shitty job?
Be like, I'd still be proud of you.
No, but still. But like, I'm not going to embarrass us. We have a brand to show.
I know. We have a brand to show off and build. So.
All right. Enough about me, but thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Doug's like, oh, I'm definitely going to bring everybody. I'm like, oh, so you just wanted to see if I was going to embarrass you the first time?
Yeah, and Austin had such a good time. And he was like, thank you for making this night so easy for me. He's like, you bought the tickets. You got, you drove. You found the parking spot.
He just wants to be a princess of life.
He does just want to be a princess of life. Like, as long as I make it easy for him, he's down.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, it was raining. Yeah.
Sorry to bring an umbrella. I had to park a block away.
Do you want a blanket and your Stanley too? Do you want Starbucks?
But
I'm so glad he was there. His face was so happy.
Yeah, he was having such a good time. He's so proud of you too.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He couldn't. He's never.
No, he heard your beginning stuff, so I think he was really shocked.
He what?
I think he was like shocked to see like what the content was this time because it wasn't the sexual assault bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's gonna go.
I don't know.
Reapers. What about the word reapers?
No, that's like death, isn't it? Like a grim reaper.
I don't know how that one's gonna get worked right.
Well, speaking of like talking and monologues and stuff, do you know like some people don't have an inner monologue?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. And like,
I thought that person would be you.
I thought it would be me, but I think it's actually my coworker, the male coworker that I work with. I don't think he has an inner monologue. He will work out without any music or like no podcast, no book, just like AirPods in. I think just to make it look like he's listening to something. And we're like, well, like, what about the voices in your head? I'm like, what's going on?
What does
there?
it sound like in your head?
Like when?
When we're done here.
When we're done here, I'm like, okay, so when am I going to work out? What am I going to wear to work out? When am I going to get back to work? And then if I do this, what am I going to eat? And then if I eat this, then like, should I actually work out with this? And then I have this patient to see. So should I actually change my clothes or should I like just stay in my workout clothes? I'm like, what outfit am I going to wear when I go back? That's a lot of it. Or like this morning when I was at home and I should have been at work. Oopsies. I was like, get your ass to work. Like, just go right now. Just go right now. And like, you gotta go. You gotta go do it. And my body was like not moving. And it's like, come on, move, you stupid bitch.
That's kind of how I used to feel like regularly all the time.
Uh-huh.
That I'd be like, come on, please, you're holding us back. And my body would be like,
But because like I should have done like a demo today to get some more new patients, but I just like was not feeling it.
We're going to make up for it on Saturday. I'm going to come with you to work.
Yeah,
I'm going to look pretty.
That's right. We're have my tennis skirt on. We'll put our skirts on.
Oh, self-tanner. We're going to get Lindsay some patients.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I feel like I'm always talking to myself in my head.
You know when I don't talk to myself in my head?
When
I work out. Oh, and I mean like running or weights. I do have an inner monologue during yoga. And I don't have an inner monologue when I'm working at the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, I should say like when I'm very busy at work, nothing's in my head.
Not a thing.
When I'm working out, I'm like, come on, glutes, activate. Come on, hamstrings, let's do this. Like, okay, and I like do a sequence in my head of the whole lift and everything that I'm doing. So I like talk myself through the whole workout.
You do?
Yeah. And then I'll be like, okay, this is going to be a really hard lift. Let me find the perfect song on my playlist so that I can ramp it up and get through this last set.
No kidding.
Uh-huh.
You don't say.
Yeah.
I don't say a thing. I'm like 1, 2, 3.
I'm trying really hard to get my legs and my booty in shape.
Me too, but I don't talk to them. Maybe I should. Maybe they grow that.
Yeah, you should talk to them. See what's happening over there. Hey, girls, how's it going back there?
Hey, cake. I know. I do love cake.
Oh, and one other thing I want to talk about, everyone's talking about, is Beyoncé.
Yeah.
And her new album.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's supposed to be a country album. I listened to it like 2 or 3 times, just driving around and whatever. I will say it's not a country album. It's just like Beyoncé. Like maybe with a hint of country somewhere, but then there's some really like real hardcore like hip hop, R&B, whatever her genre is.
Yeah, they made it sound like it was like a Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Circa like 1970s.
Uh-huh. I'm
country.
not getting any of that.
If anything, she's appropriating cowboy culture.
Yeah. Are the Cowboys mad at her for appropriating cowboy culture? If
they reacted the way in which some groups react, they would. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like some people might be offended and be like, you're appropriating, like this is what you think, but it's not.
No, it's not. Yeah, I was expecting to be like, yeehaw, country.
Yes,
like,
it as well.
It's not. So if you guys are wondering if you should listen to the album, like give it a listen. But
if you like Beyonce stuff.
If you like Beyonce stuff, like it's the same Beyonce stuff.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really have been like dressing it up as a cowboy country fair.
I know.
I was like, no, not at all. Interesting.
No.
I'm glad you did that for us. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Oh my gosh. That's it too.
Yeah.
That means, I have something to tell you, but that's just a conversation that we're going to have just about regular nonsense.
Yeah. And I think just to like plant an Easter egg or like something in everyone's mind, there's some new stuff coming your way, as in like branding of So Fired to look forward to very, very soon.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
I know. So honestly, it's going to be so fun.
I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Make sure that you like this episode.
We'll start there.
Yes, we'll start there. Thank you. 5 stars for how amazing we are wherever you rate your podcast. So Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, follow, etc. TikTok, Instagram at So Fired Pod. Share this with all of your friends, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.